Being recorded.
Hello. Yeah, once
Yeah,
we deploy this VM, okay, this satellite manager. So after that,
mhm.
I think that by using that IP, we need to open that GUI portal which you showed to us. I mean, few minutes back. I'm not able to understand how we can do the configuration on satellite manager, and you open by using this IP and that port number and smart license you have mentioned in the web page. So this is the
Mhm.
IP you have given to the IP, that VM, right?
Correct. This is the IP assigned to that VM. So
Okay.
by default, for the URL, the GUI access it is allowed over a port 8443.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
that this is only for the GUI access of the satellite. This is not necessary for the registration from the device to the satellite.
Okay. And how we are integrating this satellite manager with the software manager, SSM?
Yeah, that I'll show you. Let us first register the device.
Okay.
Then I will show you how we do the synchronization. Okay.
Okay.
So now on this smart licensing server, in the product instance, we do not have any devices, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And we also don't have the any licenses for now. Okay. So let's register this device. Okay. So this device is unregistered successfully. So when we check now show license status, we don't see anything. Okay. So let me change the call home. So in call home, I just want to I would like to highlight couple of things. So make sure whenever customer trying to register the device, uh, check whether are they using the VRF for the communication or they are using the global routing table. If they say VRF, also put that VRF under the call home configuration and also the source interface which is under the VRF. Okay, so here you can see we have this management Ethernet RSP1 interface, which is part of this Calo management. 1 minute.
Is it mandatory to use this management interface as a source?
No, not necessary. Here we have only one interface in Calo management. That's why we are using this.
But
But
I
it's
have,
not necessary.
yeah,
We
I
just
understand.
need to ensure that communication is there. That's it.
Okay, okay. Because I have seen most of the customers using this same source interface as a management.
Yeah.
Right? But this is
So
some
always,
mandatory thing.
always check the connectivity to the satellite server IP from the source interface which we mentioned. Okay. So we have the communication, right? The same way we can also test with the telnet for the port. Okay. So if the telnet, if means the port 80 is open on the server side, we can see that connection will get succeed, right? Uh, the same way we can also test for 443 if we are trying to register with the 443 on the HTTPS. You can see right now for this server from this box, we have both 80 and 443 is allowed. So the same thing, we also need to make sure in customer setup, if they have an issue with HTTP or HTTPS, try to do this test and check whether we are receiving this connection. Okay. If not, there could be chances of having a port connection issue. So now in call home, we have the different server via URL. I'll just change this and I'll put the new satellite server URL. Okay. And almost one more thing, what I want to mention here, make sure the profile what we are using is correct. Sometimes customer might have added the URL in different profile, but in the call home, the different profile is active. By default, out of the box, we will have a profile called Cisco tag, something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cisco tag.
Yeah, tag one something. So make sure always whatever the profile that we are using, which is active, the service is active and that profile is also active. So first what I'll do is I'll show over the HTTP port, like over the 80, and then we will come to HTTPS actually. Okay, so now updated the URL for HTTP. Okay, so now we need the token from the server, right? So how you get the token is here. Like in the smart satellite server, if you go to the general, you have an option called here, new token. So when you click new token, it asks for all these details. Like these are just for your reference purpose. There is nothing to be unique or global. So I'm giving the description as token, and we have this token validity. Okay, like the token validity you can keep from 30 to like say 364 to 365 days. And you also have the option like from how many devices this token can be used. Like you can mention number of devices can use this token. Okay, I'm not changing any values here. I'm just creating the token. So once we done that, we get the token here, and also we can see the token expiry. So since we had mentioned the expiry for 30 days, it's valid till 15th May. Okay. So to copy this, just click on this arrow, and you can just copy this. Okay. So now it's registered. To register the device on the user mode, license smart registered ID token and give the token. That's it. Hit enter. Then check for the license status. So you can see, right? It says succeeded. Okay, initial registration is succeeded. No license in use, but last communication is succeeded. All these things. So right now, let's go and see in the smart server, in the smart satellite server, do we have the product or not? You can see now we have that registered on the satellite. Okay, so if you click on this, you'll get to know what is this device, what type of device, and serial number and everything. So this is how you can verify once the registration is done, or customer says that they have done the registration but it's not showing. Maybe there are chances that customer might have created the token from the different virtual account, and they might be checking in some other virtual account. Okay, so make
So
sure
Govi,
there is a
this token will be unique to every device, or it can be different for every
yeah,
device.
no, it's a unique. It's a specific token for the satellite. That's it. It's not unique for different types of devices. There is nothing as such.
Okay. So this same
Yeah.
token I can use for multiple devices.
Yeah, you can use for HCI, you can use for DCNM, you can use for iOS XC device, any Cisco products. No problem.
So is there any limitation?
But make sure the token is not expired. That's it.
Okay. So is there any limitation of the number of devices we can use for that single token?
Yeah, there is an option as I showed you, right? There is an option when you generating the token number of users. If
What
there
is
is
the
it
max
is
number
not
of users?
mentioned, max number of device can register to the satellite using that token.
Okay.
If it is not mentioned, there is no limit. It can be used for multiple devices.
Check in the drop down. What is the option you're getting?
I think you can have
Okay,
money,
it's
I guess.
enter only. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We always need to ensure that customer using the right virtual account and they generated the token and they try to register from that virtual account. Because we feel
And
customer has multiple virtual accounts, he might have created a token from different virtual account and he would be searching in some other virtual account.
okay. And one more thing, Govi, can you please explain that again, the profile one, which you have mentioned on the router, right? You have to create the profile and you should enter the array. 1 minute.
No problem.
Can you do show run call home?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, here you have mentioned that make sure the URL, the destination address is in the same profile which the satellite server has, right?
Yeah.
So means this
1
profile is
minute.
unique to the router, or it is it is local to the router, or it should be same
It
on
is
the.
local to the router. It is local to the router.
Okay. So what if I
See,
have multiple profiles? How it will impact?
can you repeat your question?
Yeah, I'm saying, can I have multiple profiles on the router?
Yeah, you can have multiple profile in the router. You can see, right? Here, when you give call home detail command, okay? So I have the profile as I mentioned. By default, this is the profile will be there out of the box. Cisco TAC 1.
Where this profile
Okay?
came from? Because in the router we have configured some other profile, right?
Yeah. So this profile is inactive. That is why it's not showing in the show run column actually.
No, but if it is not configured in the router, then why it is showing in the command as well? Why why this profile name Cisco tag 1 it is showing? We have not
No.
configured
What
in the
I'm
router,
saying is,
right?
see this profile which comes from the out of the box, right? You cannot delete this. There is no
Okay,
option
okay. This
for
is
us
by
to
default.
delete this profile. Yeah, this is created by default, and you can also see the HTTP address. This is by default, it is configured to use the smart account directly to smart account tools.cisco.com. Okay, so either you can use this profile itself, or you can create your own, however the customer likes. Okay, but the device will allow you to keep only one profile is active. Let's say you want to use this profile, which I created, SSMS profile, then that time you have to make this profile inactive. You
Okay.
should go to under the profile, under the call home, under the profile, you should issue no active command. Okay, so unless you make this as inactive, it will not let you to make use of this profile. It will throw you an error actually.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the profile which we use, right? And you can see the profile status is active. And this is the URL that we used.
Okay. So if suppose I want to use that default profile Cisco Tag 1, but I don't want to use the tools.cisco.com. So can I change that HTTP server to this one, that is the .130?
Yeah, you can change this. If you want to use the same Cisco Tag profile, but you just don't want to use the smart account, you want to use this satellite, you can replace it. Yeah, you can do that.
So it will
I'll just show
override
you,
or we
maybe.
need to delete?
Yeah, go ahead.
The profile, Cisco tag profile, the default profile. So already we have it. Need to delete this address. Has to configure, or it will overwrite it by us.
No, you don't need to overwrite, but you need to inactivate that profile if you don't want to use that.
No. Go over the day's question is that if you want to use the same Cisco tag profile, Ankit, you need to delete that HTTP because it will be your hidden one. If you add the profile, the
That's
command
right.
will be accepted. However, the registration will still be sent to the default tools.cisco.com.
Yes, that's why
No,
You need
what
to
will
delete
happen?
the default and configure again because that is a hidden one.
yes.
Yeah, I'll show you. What I'll do is I'll go to this Cisco tag. I will put my URL. Okay. What it happens is it will bring this URL first, and then it will keep this as the second URL. I'll show you that 1 minute. Okay, I am in that. Okay, so I'm using this satellite URL. I'm pasting it on the okay, it's done, right? Now if you go and see in call home details, you'll see that URL came at first. Okay,
Got it.
so
Yeah,
the
got it.
tool start is on the bottom. But ideally, it is always suggested to remove that URL if you are not using it. Don't keep it like this.
Understood.
Yeah.
Go in the same output, the default is HTTPS tools.cisco.com, but the transport method is HTTP. That shouldn't matter.
Yeah, that is actually coding issue. They have not changed it. We have only
Okay.
option for transport mode HTTP, but you can use HTTPS.
Okay. All right. So both. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I'll mute again now.
Because I'll just show you.
When we use the HTTPS, we have to configure the crypto key. I think.
I think you are talking about crypto CRL optional.
No.
For ASR 9K, I don't think the crypto key option is necessary. But it you directly should take because I've never seen in any document. Maybe I will check on that. I'll let you know. So far, I don't think.
Gone through the 920 documents.
Okay.
They mentioned like you need to configure the crypto key for before using the HTTPS.
Okay.
Just
For
for
ASR
revocation
9K.
check. It's for revocation check or something else. Can you just, give some?
I think it's for iOS XE. Maybe you can share the document with me.
Yeah, I'm
You
talking
can share
about the
document.
iOS XE.
Can you just ping the document over the chat? I will also check once.
Yep.
Yeah. Ashan, you are asking, right? Let me just show you. We don't have an option called HTTPS here. I just checked that. Call home. So here we have only option HTTP.
Okay.
There is no
So,
HTTPS.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
not there. But you can remove that URL. If you want to remove, you can just remove that URL. Like show destination, you can give address HTTP. We can remove this. This is not using. So now if we check show column detail, we don't see that URL under the active. We only see this. So this is the registration for HTTP. Okay, we can do for HTTPS also.
So Govi, I have just gone through the document which Pradeep has shared over the chat. I think he's talking about that manual option. If we are using HTTPS, we know we have a hidden command to configure on the box in order to work HTTPS. So we have another option also. We can manually install the certificate. So for that, we have some steps like crypto steps. So we need to
Crypto
go to the
PKI
trust.
something, correct?
Yeah. So that thing we have to do for XR also, and he has shared the document for ASN 920. So it means it is applicable
Okay,
for
okay.
XR. So that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We can check that. Maybe yeah, we can try that also. If
Yeah.
required.
So Govi, you said you're going to show for HTTPS. Is there any difference between HTTP, HTTPS from functionality perspective?
See, different, nothing. We just make sure the URL is HTTPS and we add that colon 443. But
Okay.
yesterday I was working with an NMS guy. Okay. So what happened? We see the connectivity, everything was fine. And however, it was failing with the HTTP client log, which I shared in the war room, right, yesterday. Some SSL certificate mismatch. So what we did was, like I found a bug and we applied this workaround, like this HTTP client, right? We applied this hidden command on the global. After that, it went successful.
Okay.
So this command, you guys can keep it with you. So this is the global hidden command. What it does is like in the servers, right? Like when we try to communicate with the HTTPS communication, it will look for this secure server in the Cisco domain. In order to come out of that, this is the command. I will share you that bug also after this session with you guys. You can look into it for more details. So this is also one of the problem for where we see, the HTTPS is failing for many of the customers. And I seen many tag cases was opened and after applying this hidden command, it resolved the issue. So just for you guys, just keep this in mind and you can use that whenever there is a problem. Okay.
This command is used
other thing.
This command is used when you don't want to have a HTTPS connection, right?
No. This will
HTTP.
make the HTTPS connection to work, but this will disable any SSL key mismatch error or anything as such.
Actually, what is that? See, for any HTTPS communication, even if you open a secure PDF, you need to install some certificate, right?
Yeah.
When you get a PDF from a bank account, you install some certificate, right? For this one, you need a dynamic SSL certificate pushed from somewhere else, a third party server, anything. So this will disable that SSL checking function.
That verification will disable.
No, actually, yeah. And so basically, there is no function of HTTPS and HTTP. It's going to be same HTTP only. because SSL is going to give you the secure platform. I'm sending one PDF. I'm going to give you one key, right? That SSL is the key. So that you are disabling it. And also, I think it generates some self certificate also for the communication. That's what I believe. Or either you copy the certificate from the server, from where the certificate servers are there, right? If you have a third-party certificate server, you need to copy that SSL certificate manually. Or you put this command, you disable that function. Or I think it's router generates the SSL, I think, only this command.
Yeah. So that is the only difference. Apart from that, there is nothing. We just need to, if everything looks fine, certificate all are matching, then the HTTPS registration will go fine. Okay, so if registration over HTTPS is not necessary, then we'll move to the synchronization part. I'll show you how the synchronization will happen from the satellite to the smart account. See, right now, this on the satellite, we have this product instance registered, right, under the SPTAX virtual account. Correct? This is the on-premises account. So now let's go and see on the smart software licensing. So though I refresh anything, I will not see that the device is there under the NMS satellite. So I don't have any product, right? So now what we can do, I'll show you how we can register this device, how the synchronization can be done. So on the satellite, we should go to the admin console. I think we have here only admin workspace. Okay. So here if you come to the synchronization in the admin console, we have this SP tag. Okay. In the SP tag, see today only I registered this satellite to the smart account. That's why the last synchronization is showing today, 10/26. Okay. And the next synchronization due is May 15th. So every 30 days we should do the synchronization. And if it is auto synchronization, we have the option in the settings how frequently the satellite server should synchronize with the smart account. Like you can select for 7 days once or every day. There are options to do that. Like in the schedules, you have the option here. Like the synchronization is daily, it's required, and what time of, or you have weekly or monthly, like this. Okay. So that's for actually online, like on global synchronization with live synchronization. But right now we have some connection issues from the satellite to the smart account. We don't have that connectivity is allowed. So I will show you how we can do the manual synchronization. So in the action, we have the option called manual synchronization, standard synchronization, full synchronization. So these are, when you click this will try to communicate with the software manager directly. Okay, this is standard synchronization, means it will only take the changes from the last synchronization till date and it try to synchronize that data. If you try to click on full synchronization, it will try to sync complete data, no matter the last synchronization date. It will try to sync from the beginning. So that's the difference between full and standard. Okay, so now what I'll do, under manual, I click on standard synchronization. So here I have the option called download the file. See, I have this synchronization file got downloaded. So here we can come on the on-premises satellite. we have the option here, file sync, and browse that file. So this is the license sync request file which we just downloaded from the satellite. I'll just do the upload and I'll generate the response file. So this will take some time, depends on the database status. So once the synchronization file is ready, then we can download them. Okay, now I have the option download synchronous response file. So I can download this file. So then I can go take that file. I can come here on the same satellite page. Upload. Okay, now you can see the last synchronization. Earlier it was 10:14. Now it is 14:17. Okay, now let's see on the smart account. I mean on the software manager, we have that device or not. I'll change to NMS satellite. I'll come to product instance. You can see now in smart account, we have that device.
So what you're saying is offline method of synchronization, right? Not
yeah, the
direct.
one what we did now is the offline method, correct?
Okay, but this happens automatically also without human intervention.
That can be done, but we need to have the connectivity from the satellite to the smart account.
Okay.
That links which I told you, right? Cisco tools.cisco.com API and ss4.cisco.com port 80443. So those ports should be allowed.
Okay.
Between the satellite to this on the customer network. If it is allowed, they can use the live synchronization. If not, they can use this offline synchronization.
All right, Govi.
Okay. So here actually this box has not consumed any license right now. If in case it has consumed any license, we could you see here it shows there is no license is used as of now. Nothing else, no license in use. If it has used anything and if the license is not available, ideally it will show us here in the license -1, purchase -1. Let me show in the other account. In core tag there are multiple device restart. See here we have ASA 50 standard 10G and we have purchased 3 and there are 3 in use. So balance is showing 0. But for the ASR 9000 NV cluster, we don't have any per license purchase, but some device has registered to this account from some premises and it's in use. So that time it shows -1, insufficient license. In this condition, when we have such conditions, at that time on the box we will see that out of compliance message. Okay. Any other questions? Charu, you have any doubt? Charu, Ayushi, I guess you guys might be having couple of questions. And Ayushi, Monisha, all are fine?
I think Ayush is trying to say something, but we are not able to hear.
No, I was saying that no questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you go through what are all the commands we can execute for troubleshooting and what are all the issues we can face?
Yeah. So first thing, always make sure the call home profile is fine. As I mentioned in the call home, verify how the connectivity. Customer might have configured this URL and sometimes it may not correct. So at that time, you can ask the customer if he's using the satellite. So this will happen only when they are using the satellite. For the smart account, by default, the profile will have the URL as we shown earlier, right? So there is no chances of having the mistype or anything. But if they are using the satellite, just cross-verify once this URL what they are using is fine. Like as I showed, right, in the smart satellite server, we can go and we can see that link. Okay. Here in the general, you can here register the smart call home register URL. Just check this URL, what they are using is matching. Okay, one thing. And apart from that, verify the connectivity. If customer is using the VRF or management network, make sure check whether it is in VRF. If in case that VRF is there, ensure we have that VRF configured under this call home. Because this VRF will not be there under the call home by default. By default, it will be global. Okay, and make sure the call home, the profile, whatever we are using, which is active.
Okay, so let's say Govi, hello, Govi. Yeah, so in this configuration, we have mentioned source interfaces management Ethernet 0 RSP1. Okay. If suppose my RFC gets switch over, okay, right. If suppose my RSP 0 will be active right now, okay, due to some issue happened and RSP got switch over. So, till the next registration, is there anything happen in between, or it will just,
I think
there will be no issue?
when the RSP switch over will, right, I think the IP which we had under RSP1, it will be replicated to RSP0, correct? If I'm not wrong. If that would be happening, I think even that will update it over here. Maybe
That
we
is,
can
we have
check.
configured manually.
I don't think so. Go, it won't happen.
If not, I think we have to verify that. I haven't verified that. Maybe let me see if I have any lab device with dual RSP. We can try that. I'll check and I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, but even if it happens, Rakesh, no need to worry, right? Because our data plane, control plane will still work fine. The register, the license will not be pulled away. Because you have 30
You won't have any problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, once it is registered, if switchover will happen, there won't be any problem for a month. Okay, after a month, after 30 days, it will try to resync. At that time, if the server is not reachable, customer may see the log message, but it will not remove the license immediately after 30 days. It will be there for 365 days. That is what I know.
Okay.
Yeah. But in case if the registration, that is what, like after registration, if it is failed over and it try to communicate, if it is not updated, then it will fail to communicate. That time it gives the alarm message. Yeah. But I will still check that scenario, like what you mentioned. When we switch over, do we still need to mention this manually or how it works?
Okay.
You can see. Yeah. And apart from
what
this,
are all
sometimes
other?
yeah, and other thing is sometimes instead of the IP address, right, customer might have their server host name here configured, correct? At that time, we need to ensure that domain lookup is properly happening. So check in the run domain, show run domain, check we have DNS IP address and everything is updated. Or we can also explicitly configure the domain lookup for this IP. Like this IP and host name, we can configure like this. Domain IP host, and we can give the host name, whatever they try to put here, and what is the password, what is the IP address for that. We can do that also, and we can add this name cisco.com, like that, whatever customer domain name, we can add it. And make sure again we have that VRF configured. Okay. So let's say customer has the domain configured everything under the global, but right now we are trying to communicate under the VRF, right, with the SQDN. So make sure we have that VRFs are configured under the domain. So this is one more thing. And another thing that this is not necessary, but you can try this also. Like we have, so this particular communication will happen HTTP client, right? So this device will act as a client, and smart licensing server will act as a server, correct? So even client request we can configure for VRF like this. We can configure like this. So the request from this device, the HTTP client which this request will go, it will use the VRF calendar management. This is the other thing. And apart from this, we have one more like crypto option. So here in the crypto, here trust pool, all these things are there, right? So now we have this trust pool, and under this, so when we try to communicate, it will check the server in the trust pool, or it try to communicate in the domain and see checks for the peer server. Like Jagiana was checking, right, the TA server. Okay.
What
So
is this
here,
trust pool? Is there anything defined under trust pool? Means any?
no, as of now, there is nothing is defined. But I was doing the topic for one of the case. What they did was they have added something called CRL optional under this trust pool. So at that time, what this happens is like this will not consider as a mandatory to make sure that server is reachable, that TA server is reachable, or some kind of search the ASR9K will do. That will not keep as a mandatory. So we have something called CRL optional for that crypto. Trust. Here we have CRL optional. When you type this, I think it will come under the
Only, I guess. Run some.
Sure and crypto.
Sure and crypto will be there. So, question one, no.
CL.
Trust. Oh yeah. Give policy.
See here, what we added, right? Under CRL optional, we also added this VRF cal management. This is incorrect, but we can add like this VRF cal management also. So this is actually is not necessary for ASR9K. I'm just showing in the IOSXE, we may need to add this CRL optional, or there is something called revocation check none. I'll show those documents for IOSXE. That would help. But apart from this
command, this command we are using in ASR9K only, right? Optional.
Yeah, this is for ASR9K. And IOSXE, we have something called crypto PKI certificate pool or something like that.
Okay. Revocation check also you set for IOSXE, right?
That is not for XR, that's for XP.
I think that command we can use in CRS, revocation. What I remember so far.
Here.
CRS router. Yeah,
Okay, CRS router. Okay.
that we can check later.
And
Govi,
apart from this, like you can use debug, call home, trace. All these are commands.
Govi, you had list of commands
call
in
home.
Notepad, right? Can you show that?
Yeah, I had here in the notepad. Debug, call home, all smart licensing, IP. So these all are there. These all we can
Don't have
enable.
show call home trace.
We have. We have everything. So licensing also is there. There. License client or smart license. Can try everything.
So for call home, Govi, is there for 9K?
No,
For
no
smart
process
licensing?
as such. It's a see, call home configuration is almost same for all across all platforms like this.
No. I'm not asking about the configuration. I'm asking that, like for example, let's say for LDP, right? For LDP, we have dedicated process on the ASR 9K. Like that,
We have that. Call license will be a
There's a
process.
process call home.
All over
There's
the
a process called call underscore home.
Okay.
This one. Like for that we have, I think for smart license also something like this. Smart license server. Yeah. Actually today I had one collapse. Okay, let me show you what we had a problem in that. So in that we had an issue with call home. It collects the device information and it will share it with the this satellite server while registering. Okay, so that registration was failing for the customer. Configuration, everything was fine, and we come across in the logs there was some issue. Okay, so this is the case. The customer was receiving this license response code 500. Okay, while registering, and it was HTTP reached only. It is not HTTPS also. And all communication, everything was verified, everything was fine. Telnet, everything we checked, all was fine. And afterwards, what we noticed was in the call home logs, right? We see this message, this information, right? Values for model. These values are non-readable ones. Like you see B, some special character question. Let me make it bigger one.
You have got this alarm in the logs or in the show traces?
Yeah, in the logs, in the show text call home, and we enable the debug call home. In that, we found this request value. It requested model from the device, and that value is a non-readable one. Okay, like hardware version it requested, and the value it received some special character, non-readable one, and we got this bug actually. So as per this bug, what they were told, they mentioned to restart the call home process. Yeah, we are unable to successfully complete registration when column gets chassis info like this. It's a non-printable character. So call home actually should discard, but it's as of now in current version it's taking them. So because after it's collecting, when it is sending to the satellite server, right, the satellite server is unable to read this info. Then it's sending the error as a 500 code error. So they suggested to restart the call home. So when they restart the call home service, it will try to fetch this information again from the device. And at that time, it will have all the information proper. This is what it showed. So I provided this action plan to customer. He had to come back to me. Let's see. So this is one case I found to yesterday, like this kind of problem.
This is something new.
Okay.
So issue can be
Super, Rovi,
unless we handle multiple cases, right? So we'll not get
Yes,
to know what
right.
type of issue,
Yeah.
what all these things. Yeah.
Correct.
So, by showing this bug, Govi, do you refer that this whole technology is buggy? A lot of bugs are there.
Which one? In the
This call home, yeah, this call home feature and this technology. Are there a
yeah,
lot
I
of bugs?
think many devices like different platform we handle, right? iOS, XP or XR, all these things. There can
Yeah.
be many reasons for issues. There can be a buggy because right now we also working on one project case. Is ASR 903. So what customer is did? Like customer saying that they are trying to register the device first time for the satellite. Okay. And we seeing the message called this serial number is already exist in the satellite in the API response. But customer says he never registered this device before. So now we are 50-50. Where is the problem? Is it the ASR 903 is acting as a buggy or the satellite server is sending the false information to us? So we did the packet capture and we need to check what's going on.
So did they got this device RMA? नया डिवाइस मिला है क्या उनको? जिसको ने वही तो नहीं भेज दिया कुछ?
नहीं RMA से कुछ नहीं है, कुछ कॉलम का कुछ स्मार्ट लाइसेंसिंग का बग रेज करना पड़ेगा.
तो पता चला
Testing in their lab
सिस्को ने
environment.
पुराना डब्बा भेज दिया कस्टमर को.
Okay, Govi, I'm going to stop the recording if the major content is over. Discussions we can do offline, right? So I'm going to stop the recording.
You can stop the recording.